What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday Future, ticker is FFIE. I want to give you a good overview of some of the data points, technicals, and expectations for this upcoming week. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So based on Friday, it did go up 6.15%. Technicals are looking fairly good. It consolidated over the last couple of days. So of course I'm going to touch on the technicals, but more specifically though, for this upcoming week, expectations wise, it is going to be very much dependent on CPI. So CPI is coming out on Tuesday. In case you guys do not know, CPI is very much linked to inflation. Over the last couple of reports, it has shown that it's kind of trending down. So definitely if this is going to be, I think, the third consecutive report showing a downtrend on a year-over-year basis, then that might be a good justification for it to trend up, meaning the broader market. And with the broader market, Faraday would definitely benefit. And of course, if CPI is also significantly lower, it kind of doesn't give that much ammunition for the Feds to raise rates. And conveniently, that is coming out on Wednesday. So Wednesday, as you can see, Fed interest rate decision currently does show the forecast being in line. So they're not going to raise it. They'll keep it at the 5.25%. But of course, there's obviously those rumors that are floating around saying that hypothetically they could cut it. And if they do cut it, then definitely that is going to be something out of left field and the market is going to go crazy for that. So of course, that's just my own opinion, not financial advisor. So you guys always do your own due diligence. So those ones are going to be some big points to watch for this upcoming week. But more specifically with Faraday, I'll touch on the technicals and everything else that you need to know. But as of right now for SEC filings or press releases, there's been nothing recent that I haven't really covered in a video already. Just based on the technicals, like I've mentioned, it's kind of trading between the R2 and the R3 right now. So 30 cents or 30.5 cents is the next big support and vice versa. 35.5 is the next big resistance. And conveniently, based on Friday, the intraday, that is exactly the parameter it did trade on. So most likely I do feel that it is going to continue to trade within this range, more specifically on Monday. And then Tuesday, it is going to be very much dependent, like I mentioned, on this CPI data. But of course, I do also see a little bit more FOMO kicking in. So this is the transcripts for Faraday's last earnings and phase 2. So phase 2, it does say that they're going to be starting at the end of the second quarter, and that is roughly around 2 weeks from now. So I do feel that is going to once again kick off a little bit more of a buying zone for Faraday, which will be very apparent through the number of transactions through big money buying on both the dark pool and secondary market. And as well, you'll see another influx of retail investors getting in, as what you can see based on the momentum indicator. So again, that is definitely something to factor in. On a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as what I just showed you, transcripts, SEC filings, dividends, earnings, everything under the sun, take advantage of Seeking Alpha Premium. Link in the description below for a 7-day free trial. But when it comes down to it, shorts in reality are going to be trying to suppress Faraday. So I'll give you guys a quick overview, for instance, what they are doing. So short score is currently 77, utilization is at 100%. And once again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is more so as a benchmark, because in reality, looking for on Friday, they did increase 14.85 million shares, which is pretty significant. So that brings a grand total to 205.07 million shares overall being shorted, 19.09% of the free floats being shorted. Cost to borrow as well, based on Friday's activity, did go up a little bit, so 12.15%. So again, it's one of those situations that I do feel that there isn't that much buying right now, but with FOMO kicking in near, obviously within the next 2 weeks, and also if there is a little bit more of a positive economic data standpoint kind of going on there, then there is going to be a huge influx of buying, similar to what happened, like I mentioned, over the last couple of days. And keep in mind, these are only the transactions over $100,000. So big money is clearly sitting on the sidelines, very much kind of dipping their toe into Faraday, but they are waiting for a full commitment, more specifically the phase 2 and phase 3, to kick off without any issues per se. And if that does and is the case, this is where, in my opinion, I do see Faraday going up and rocketing very, very high. Because as I've mentioned in the past, for instance, if you pop over to Interactive Brokers and look at the latest Morningstar report, which I do believe came out on, I think it's either Thursday or Friday, it does put the fair market value of Faraday at 74 cents. So once again, it kind of does show that it is at a substantial discount, as what a lot of people have been saying, but it's just been suppressed due to obviously financing purposes and a lot of other points as well. So definitely a lot of big things might be coming Faraday's future, but it definitely is not a risk-free investment. So just be aware of that. For instance, looking at the call options, or at least options in general based on Friday, $93.7 thousand in call premiums were purchased versus $6,300. And this has been the case for the last 2 weeks, give or take, that there's been a huge amount of call options being purchased, insinuating that there is a lot of upside anticipated. Some of these, as you can see, the outliers right here where there's a huge amount of volume, that is just shorts increasing their position and kind of hedging that way, because as I mentioned, shorts did increase their position almost 15 million shares. So what they're doing is they're just hedging with call options. And in reality, they wouldn't be doing that unless they felt that Faraday did have a very substantial opportunity to go up. But once again, that's up to you guys to make that determination. So as far as some expectations, I do feel that it is just going to be once again trading between this R2 and R3 right here based on the fib levels, just up until CPI. If CPI is positive, then this is where it can easily break above that, in my own opinion, of course. And then if it does break above this R3, then you can kind of look back to the chart and see this 100-day moving average, which is around 45 cents. So that would be the next big resistance that Faraday would have to get over. But in theory, if it does get above this, then it can easily trend up, similar to what happened right here. But of course, let me know you guys' thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Do you believe that Faraday is going to be doing a lot of good things? Or do you think that they're going to come into a little bit more of a production issue? Because one time or another, every EV does encounter some production issues that does affect them quite significantly. But as of right now, Faraday's been doing a pretty good job, in my opinion, of everything. So who knows, they might be the next big EV to kind of blow up. But once again, it's a little bit more of a good risk versus reward at these prices. We'll see if it does get higher and if there still is that same level of amount of transactions and buyers and so forth. But once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Take advantage of free promos, and this is a huge promo with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for a free account, you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. And as you can see, this crazy promo, deposit $100, you get 5 free stocks plus $100 cash reward. This is literally the pure definition of a free promo. So take advantage of this while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. Without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Faraday Future.